Hey, what's up, guys? So I had a decent day today. I started out trading MOV. I went long. I got stopped out, and then I went short, and then I got stopped out, which is good because it then ran all the way up to $17 pretty much. The reason why I got freaked out, even though this is a small size, it's both 100 shares each time, both on the long side and the short side, is because this stock is very volatile, moves really quickly, and at the same time, the spread wasn't that favorable. So some people from the community or the chat that I'm part of, Bear Bull Traders, made a lot of money, including Andrew Aziz, on this stock, but it was beyond my skill level to play. It is what it is. And then Macy's, I went short here for the opening range breakdown, but it was really struggling at this level, so I just covered it. In retrospect, did go on this huge drop. So if I had held on to the shares, I could have made a pretty nice profit, but it is what it is. Did go back up. I thought about taking it on the short side, but I didn't know if this was going to be a reversal. Sometimes it does make a pretty quick reversal, so I didn't want to do that. And so I just kind of waited. It did drop. I was thinking this is a double bottom, so I went in 100 shares. I added to my position, and then I got stopped out here because I didn't want it to continue to fall. But right after I stopped out, and this is just 100 shares, 100 shares. It looks drastic, but it's really not. Because this is at 1517, this is 1507, so average is probably around here, 1513, 1512, and then I just stopped out at 1503. So only lost like 20 bucks. So it's not that drastic. And I saw it held this area, and the EMA was going to cross the SMA, so I went in 500 shares. My profit target was at VWAP. It didn't really hit VWAP, but I scaled out every time it starts to struggle. And so that's it. That's M. I did take short on I a few times. I was struggling at this level, so I just covered it off. And then eventually did look like it was going to do a cross. And notice, this is the first cross it's doing, and it's a successful run all the way up through VWAP. I took about 1,000 shares. I went in a small size to see what happens, and then over the course of the next minute, the stock held the EMA, so I doubled my position, and then it didn't really give me the run up that I wanted, and then it looked like it was gonna fall apart. So I didn't want this to dump on me, so I just got out, especially with 1,000 shares. So I lost some money here. It didn't dump. It formed like a double bottom around here, and then on the way back up, I don't know if it would just go up and then it would then fade away. So I went in half size now, just 500 shares. Profit target is still the same around VWAP. So it bumped up, and then I just basically exited at VWAP. Retrospect, I should probably help some because it did pop all the way up here, and then it continued to run up higher. But I didn't do that, so it is what it is. And then Coles. So for Coles, Brian at Bear Bull Traders, his strategy of the Red Devil, so I kind of tried to take that. So, but before I did, I missed this level because I set my Red Devil, my short at 50 bucks. Didn't do that. I thought I was going to do a breakdown, so I went in 50 shares, small size. It popped up. So I added another 50 shares because I was still very short buys on this. On the way down, it dropped, and it was struggling at this level, but the average of the two kind of made it where this was a profitable exit. So I exited, made a like $6 or something. Popped up. I went short again because, like I said, I was short bias. It dropped, and I covered just a bit because it didn't really give me the drop that I expected it. I expected this to just fade all the way down, at least test this 48.25 level. It didn't do that. So I covered, and then it popped up. Struggled here on the way down. I saw that it's now doing sort of like a double bottom, but there was, on the level 2, there were some big bits. So I was thinking, okay, maybe this will flush. So I went short. It didn't flush, so I didn't want this to be a double bottom and pop right back up and, shoot right through the VWAP, etc. So I got out, avoided the squeeze, and then it did go down. After the drop, I went in again, I think 300 shares. On the way down, it struggled a bit here, so I took a partial off, and then I took the rest off here. Should have held some because it did drop nicely all the way down to 47.52. But for me, this was a level, 48.26. So I set my my exit at a level because what I expected was for it to drop and then maybe do a double bottom here and go back up, or drop and then just consolidate around this area. It did shoot through that and then it went back up, and it did eventually consolidate around the 48.60 level. So at this level, I went short a few times, and then when it dropped, I just got out. Went short and then dropped because I expected this to drop further. It didn't really do that. It struggled at this 48 level, between 48 and 48.26. So it consolidated around that level. I was basically playing the band and scalping it. And then eventually it did drop a bit further, but it was holding this level. So I started to scale in 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares, 100 shares. Actually, I think this is 200 and then 100, 100, 100, playing the reversal. It did pop up. I started to scale out. My profit target actually was VWAP, but I saw that it was struggling here. So it hit this level. I scaled out some and then hoping that it would hit this, and then I would scale out the rest. That didn't happen. When it hit this again, I scaled out some more. It did pop up a bit higher than this, so I was hoping, okay, now maybe it'll be a run, but instead it just formed yet another peak. So that's 3 peaks. Kind of dangerous. So I just got out 300 shares on the way down. I got out the remainder 200, and then it just tanked all the way down to 46.9. So that was very good for stopping out at a slight profit, but yeah, so it was good, but it never made it back up to VWAP. I was really hoping for a nice reversal, but the stock was very, very weak. So that didn't happen. Yeah, so it is what it is. So that was my trade on Coles. And lastly, I took a trade on JD. So JD basically started the day red, went all the way down, 32.20, and then it was doing a reversal. What interested me was it was holding this level, so it popped up, everything looked good, did the cross, and then it just held the level here. Again, I had VWAP as sort of my stop, my profit target. So I went in 500 shares. On the way up, it struggled here, so I got out some. And then on the pop, I got out the remainder here. Because it struggled again, so and I just experienced what happened to Coles. So I didn't want this to just drop on me without taking any profit. And so I basically got out all my profit, which is kind of good because here it didn't really go that much higher, but it did struggle here. Never made it to VWAP. So yeah, so that was my day. Overall, it was pretty good, well controlled. I just want to continue to be consistent and keep replicating stuff like this, this types of trading. So that's it. That's my day.